Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Krisha. Oh, I'm so excited. Anytime that I get to play and talk about blush, it's a good day. I absolutely love blush. It's probably my favorite makeup category. And today we get to talk about some new shades being added to Patrick Ta's blush collection. This is in his Duo Cream blush collection. I think he calls it Double Take Cream and Powder blush. I have a single of it in She's So LA, a cult classic color. I'm also going to be showing you guys the new shades, which are going to be released very, very soon, I think February 10th. So what he ended up doing is taking the shades that were in the blush palette that sold out in like 2 seconds and made them into separate blush compacts. So we're going to be going over comparisons. We're going to be doing swatches. I'm going to be applying each blush on my cheek. What I'll be doing essentially is comparing the 2 more pink shades, one on each cheek, and then I'll be comparing She's So LA with the more sort of neutral shade in the palette here. There is going to be one shade that isn't part of the palette that's also new, and I'm going to be picking that one up at some point. I'll be sort of showing it probably on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram for more content that doesn't make it to my YouTube channel, just at Zagami Beauty. I'm too excited. Let's get straight into this demo. Okay guys, so we're up nice and close, and I just wanted to go over the shades that are going to be coming out. There's one shade that is going to be released that's not from the palette. So the colors in the palette are all going to be in large pans, just like his previous collection. I have it in She's So LA. I'm going to compare that with, you know, with that kind of more brownie shade in this palette. So here we have She's Baked, this one here. This is She's Vibrant, and this one is She's a Doll. And there's one shade that I'm going to pick up, which is completely different from these ones. And that one's called She's Blushing. And I'll just kind of leave a picture of it there. It looks sort of like a very nude, mauve-y, warm type shade. Let's go ahead and try these on. I'm going to compare the 2 really bright shades side by side on either cheek. And we'll start off with that. So She's a Doll, and then She's Vibrant. You might be debating between those 2 and how they look. On my lips, I have a very neutral color. I decided to stick with Patrick Ta. I'm not the biggest fan of this shade. I feel like it goes beautifully with She's So LA on the cheeks. I don't know, I feel like it's almost too warm brown for my skin tone. And this is in the lipstick that he has out in Oh She's Single. So that's what I have on my lips, just to keep it kind of like Patrick Ta, you know, themed. I'm going to show you guys some swatches. These are very vibrant, you guys. Like, these are not for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? They're definitely more pigmented than his single just powder blushes. So lights dim down, we have She's a Doll and She's Vibrant. That's the cream on the top, the powder on the bottom. Powder is very pigmented. And again, the cream of She's a Doll and the powder for She's a Doll. More cool toned baby pink. Now, because they are so pigmented, I'm just going to be careful, but I am going to use Patrick Ta's blush brush, which is synthetic. It's very fluffy, has a bit of a bend to it, and so I don't think it's going to be too intense. And I'm going to use his technique of just kind of like patting the blush in place. He kind of goes like this with his blush application. Let's go in with She's a Doll. Super pigmented. I mean, that's barely tapping any on. All right, and let's go in. Go with a little bit more. So it is pigmented, but as you can see, it has a sheerness to it. It's not like NARS blushes can be quite pigmented, but almost just very opaque. This one's pigmented, but there's a slight sheerness, I feel, to the formula. And I think it's because he does put shea butter in his blush formula. So it has like this emollients in there and this slight sheerness. So that's a bit of the powder. And I think I would leave it there because we are going to go over top with the cream blush. And I'm just going to use a slightly damp beauty blender. That's what he likes to do, and I agree. I think it works really well. Normally, I would sometimes use like a stippling brush to apply my cream blush, but I feel in this case, this works better. You'll see what I mean. So you just kind of dab it on, and I feel with a beauty blender, you can just blend away around the edges of the powder blush, and it just sort of fuses everything together and creates a beautiful cohesiveness. Now, normally I would wear a lot more bronzer with my look, but I wanted you guys to see the blush colors without any, interference. So normally I would have put a little bit more bronzer on underneath. Let's go in with a little bit more cream. And as you can see, it's just beautiful. It just creates the most ethereal glow. So that is She's a Doll. And I probably could have went, like I said, a little bit more pigmented, but we'll leave it on for now. I think sometimes too what he does is he puts a bit of cream and then he puts a little bit more of the powder and just kind of like gets it all. Yeah, like if I went like that, just get a little bit more punch, just a slight few more dabs. So pretty. All right, let's move to the other side. I'm just gonna wipe off my brush and let's go in with She's Vibrant on this side. Just tap, tap, tap. Nothing comes off, you guys, really, because it's not like overly dry or powdery. It's just really, really pigmented. So let's go in. He just dabs and kind of flicks. And as you can see, this just already has that slight more coral quality. It's really blending out. It almost has a sheen to it on its own without even putting the cream on top. It's a beautiful formula. It's emollient, but it has that beautiful sheerness to it where you can still see your skin, peeking through. I'm gonna go ahead, use a different side, dab and slightly swipe at it. And I think I put too much, but it's okay, we want to see it, so. Yeah, that's way too much. Let's use the bum of the sponge and just slightly blend away. Like for me, it's not too much if it's summer and I'm, more tanned, but it is a bit much. It just gives you, I guess, the idea of the color. So again, these cream toppers, they are pigmented, as you can see. All right, let's go in a little bit closer and just see what's going on here. So that is She's Vibrant, definitely a pink blush, but it does have that coral punch to it. And this is She's a Doll. Way more cool toned. Now I'm gonna put a little bit more for the She's a Doll side because I feel like I went a little bit more intense with She's Vibrant, and then you guys can maybe see a little bit more of the color comparison. So I'm just gonna tap in a little bit more of She's a Doll. Okay, and that gives you guys a better idea. So She's a Doll, She's Vibrant. I like them both. I think if I had to choose, because I was getting a full size now, like single color. Oh my God, how do you choose? I think going into summer, I would probably choose She's Vibrant. Or I'd probably get both. Who am I kidding? They're so pretty. So next two shades we're going to compare from his first release. This is She's So LA. It was unavailable for a really long time. It's a beautiful sort of like tanned cheek effect, very monochromatic tanned look. And then we have this shade here, She's Baked. So She's LA and then She's Baked. So you can definitely see they're not the same. She's LA is very, very tanned, very warm toned, very nude, very kind of like 90s makeup nude. She's Baked, definitely a little bit darker, but more of like brick quality to it. I think it'd be beautiful on darker skin tones, and I think it'd be good even on light to medium skin tones, especially if you want that sort of like tanned, sunburnt type cheek. I need at least a little bit of color, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of the Dior bronzer. This is in the shade 5. And just to add a little bit of color, nothing crazy. Still stark and look like a ghost, but at least it's not as bad. And I will link all of the other makeup that I am wearing down below. Let's go ahead and put on She's So LA. Ooh, and I didn't do swatches. Ooh, never mind. Let's do swatches first. All right, guys, here we go. So we have She's So LA here, the powder and the cream. And then we have She's Baked. So the powder for She's Baked and then the cream topper. You can just tell already this is way more brown, tan toned, and this is way more almost burnt cheek look. Go in. So She's So LA goes here. And again, I love this technique of just dabbing it into place. Okay, I'll put a little bit more on because I do want you guys to see the color. Okay, so this is She's So LA, just the powder. And the magic happens when you put on the cream. And blend on top. It just literally blends the blush. So if you've had any kind of like sharp edges, it literally just like blends it. And now I like this lipstick a lot more with this sort of like monochromatic look. And that is with the cream on top. All right, let's go in with She's Baked. You can tell already it's just slightly more warm, a little bit darker. Okay, and that's just the powder for She's Baked. Looks good with the lipstick too. Swipe. This is my type of blush look, you know, where it's like youthful, on the cheek, glowy, definitely visible. That's how I like it. And not everyone likes that. Not everyone is going to like a lot of blush. I mean, that's just normal. I'm just gonna put a bit on my nose because I feel like I would normally, and it just needs a bit of something. So that was really easy, as you guys saw. This is She's Baked with both layers. I really like that. And then She's So LA. So once they're on the skin, they do look, you know, quite similar. But I do feel that this definitely has more warmth to it. I also feel that if I was a little bit more tanned, it would look better. But it still gives a nice monochromatic look with my eyeshadow and my lips. And I just feel like it's pretty. Guys, I'm zoomed out now and you can kind of just get a little bit of a more backed up look or view of these products on the skin. So again, this is She's Baked and She's So LA. My final thoughts on this blush formula in general is that it's really probably one of my top 3 blushes, if not at the top. Like, I'm just trying to think what I like more, but I just feel like this is such an all-in-one blush product. You have your powder, you have that topper, which is so forgiving for all skin types. I mean, I have dry cheeks. I'm 42, so I am getting some fine lines, and I feel like if I'm going to use a blush product, this is what I want to veer to look as youthful as possible. It's one of those looks that I think is going to look very dewy and juicy and youthful, and it's going to give you an all-over flush. So while you can use this formula to kind of create a little bit more of a pinpointed blush effect, you're almost not utilizing it to its fullest potential, because I think once you put on that topper shade, it is naturally going to kind of like juice up your cheeks and make them look just kind of like overall flushed. I really, really recommend this blush formula to you guys, and with 4 new shades out, there's really something for everyone. There's gonna be a total of 8 shades now. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know down below if you are going to be picking up a blush from this color launch. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys go today. And also, I'm gonna leave you with a video as always. This video is going to be the foundation that I'm wearing today. I can't get over how good this foundation is. It's the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. Check that video out next if you want something absolutely perfecting, long wearing, and dry skin safe. All the best to you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.